afternoon to all my subscribers, viewers and friends around India, around the world and around everywhere. Hope you're all doing wonderfully well and watching my videos. Are you making rest of your lives as best of your lives? I hope you are. My friends, I'm back with you in the latest edition of my show, Tonight with Sharat. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic which is very close to my heart. It's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's an experience which I think every normal human being goes through in his life. Yes, you might have guessed it. I'm talking about failure. Most of the people take failure in a very negative sense. But let me tell you, my friends, failure is one word, failure is one experience, failure is one feeling which one has to go through to achieve happiness, to achieve success. It's rightly called the gateway to success. Now, when we talk of failure in life, when we talk of failure, let me tell you, there are very different kinds of failures, all kinds of failures. The most common failures are, number one, failure in health, failure in career, failure in a relationship, a failed bank balance, a failed association, a failed sport or a failure in a game. So these are many kinds of failures, and most of the time failures, they shatter the normal people. And that shattering is bad because it can either make you or it can either mar you. So this failure is very important to be studied, this failure is very important to be overcome. Now, I have explained you different kinds of failures. Different failures what we go through in our normal lives. Let me go a bit further and tell you what exactly are our normal reactions when we face failure. The first reaction, my friends, you will agree with me, the first reaction what we go through is of denial. Yes, denial. When we encounter failure, first of all, because of our ego. Ego is the biggest enemy of ours. Ego brings a sense of denial in us. We deny that we have failed. We don't accept it. We don't accept it. And along with denial comes anger. We get angry. How can this happen to me? It is not for me. Failure is not for me. That is our first kind of reaction. That's called denial. The second reaction, what we go through, is chasing our losses. Underline my words, mark my words. I'm saying chasing our losses. Chasing our losses means just like a gambler. You must have known what these gamblers do. They make a small bet, they loosen it, and they go for a bigger bet just to cover their losses. That's what we do in our normal lives. Beside denial and anger, we go for chasing our losses. Yes, we chase our loss. We try to put a bigger bet. Denial, anger, and then chasing our loss. We put a bigger bet. We want to cover it up. Thereafter, once these reactions we have gone through, thereafter comes another reaction. And that reaction that's called egoistic editing. This kind of reaction is very simple. Because of our ego, we try to edit our lives. We try to edit what has happened. It is called selective editing. In short, I can say what we do. We misrepresent, misinterpret, or reinterpret our failure as success. We say, no, we have not failed, we have done this, we have done that, we have done that. That's our normal reaction. In our heart also we say, no, this is, we have not failed, oh, we did this great, we should accept it. But we try to get into egoistic editing. Our ego drives this editing. It does not let us accept that we have failed. We have failed in our endeavors. Yes, first thing is to accept it, but we don't do it. And the last reaction what we go through, my friends, that is a defeatist attitude. Most of the time we say, oh, this is the end of the world. My efforts end here. I have failed. It shatters you. you go into a hole. You just get into a kind of a different kind of a reaction. I mean, you just don't want to do anything. You say, my efforts have not been rewarded and this is the end of the world and now I'm not going to try again. Sometimes people get into different bad habits. They get into depressions. So these kind of attitudes one develops after one has gone through failure. But friends, as I said earlier, failure is a gateway to success. It's a stepping stone for success, and these kind of attitudes are not going to take us anywhere. You see, this kind of an attitude, if we get into this kind of an attitude, it can ultimately lead us to a failed life, a failed career, and ultimately we'll become a total failure in life. We won't do anything. So this kind of attitude does not take us anywhere. You see, these kind of attitudes, they just break you. And most of the time, failures do break us. But as they say, failures will either make you or break you. But a failure has to break you before it makes you. Yes. You have to go through that emotion of getting shattered. But you got to get up and you got to pick up the pieces, rise like a phoenix and face this failure. That's how you can get onto the ladder of success. Now, I'll tell you another way how to tackle with this failure. Big, great people, their lives have been researched, how they have gone through this failure, how they have turned it around. They've taken a head spin, how they have turned it around into success. Now, failure, if I break this word, Failure, I said Failure. These words, if I break, it becomes an acronym, like an abbreviation, acronym. Now the first word, I'll put it this way, the solution to deal with failure lies in this acronym itself. Each and every alphabet speaks of something. I'll tell you how. It's a takeaway what I'm giving you. How to deal with failure. The first alphabet is F. F means, my friends, forget. First of all, you have to forget what has happened. You see, yesterday was a cancelled check. Yesterday is a cancelled check. Today is hard, cold cash. And tomorrow is a promissory note. So forget yesterday. Forget what has happened. Look for hard, cold cash. Stay in present and work for future. So forget past. First of all, what has happened? The first reaction, F means forget. Forget it. The other word is A. Now what does A conveys? A conveys accept. After you have forgotten certain things, you got to accept that on that given day, your efforts did not get you the desired results. Somebody else was better than you. You got to perk up your efforts. You got to accept it. You got to accept it that you were not up to the mark. So after you have forgotten things, you got to accept certain things. And the third alphabet, what comes in this acronym is I. I means investigate. Now, with investigate, I mean you got to look into the reasons. Be logical, be patient, sit down and investigate the reasons why you have failed. Investigate your game plan. Now here lies a catch. You got to investigate the strategy. You got to look into the strategy. You got to change the strategy, but not the goal. Don't change your goals. Don't change your dreams. Work for them. Investigate what went wrong. That is what I means. Thereafter is the alphabet called L. Now L means look. You got to look for alternatives. Once you have investigated what went wrong, look for alternatives. Look for an alternative plan. Look for a plan B. Just like in a game of cricket, when one bowler does not get you wickets, you got to look and change the bowler, change the bowling, change your strategy. Look for another strategy. That is called L. Now the next word is U. U means you. U means understand. You got to understand very clearly that you are not a failure. You just tried hard, but somebody else was better, and you need to change your game plan. Understand things as they come. Take life as it comes to you. Understand. Then there comes the word R. Now, R has many meanings. In this whole acronym, R is very important. The first meaning of R is reevaluate. Reevaluate your previous plan. If some changes are to be made in that plan, go for them. R also means refocus. Bring back your focus. Focus on your goals. Once again, get back onto your goal. Focus again. R also means reframe. Reframe your strategy. As I said earlier, the strategy needs to be worked. Don't change your goals, change your strategy. So after R, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, the most important word is E. That's the last word, and E means entrust. Trust yourself. Back yourself. That is very important. Back your efforts. Got to trust that I can do it. If you trust yourself, things will change. So my friends, these words I have given you, this is the strategy. How to deal with failure. Yes, that's a strategy. Many big people in this world, many people who have risen from ashes, who had gone bankrupt, who were nowhere, who were called mentally uneducable by the doctors, have just gone through this strategy. They have dealt with their failure like this. Now, I'll give you some examples. There is an example of the Harry Potter series creator J.K. Rowling. That lady, she has gone through millions of failures, lots of failures. She was a single mother living in penury. Nobody was buying her books, nobody was buying her creations, but she kept on. She kept on. She backed herself. She forgot what has happened. She understood things. She reevaluated her plans. She entrusted. She had trust in her. And ultimately, she's a celebrated author. Comes person like, say, if I give you an example of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, a short-statured guy. When in 8th standard, he was just sent home from the school. He said, the teacher said, his coach said, you are nowhere. You cannot get into the basketball team. And look, with his efforts, with his grit, how he fought his failure. He became one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. I give you an example of Richard Branson. Sir Richard Branson, the great man from UK, doing wonderfully well. He fought failures like anything. I give you an example of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed 27 times before becoming the president of US. And the latest example what I can give you is of Jack Ma. Do you know who Jack Ma is? Jack Ma is the richest Chinese in the world. He's the richest man in China today. And he is the creator and owner of the biggest e-commerce website of the world called Alibaba.com. He's a frail looking man in his 53rd or 54th year of his life. He's a frail looking man. Believe me, if you see him, you won't believe it. That man has gone through umpteen number of failures. Umpteen number of failures. While in school, he failed his entrance test twice. While in college, he again failed his entrance test. In college examination of mathematics, he got just 1 mark out of 120. Can you believe it? He still says, I don't know maths. I can't read account books. But I know one thing. Hard work and how to fight failures. That's what he says. He went for a job to KFC. That's Kentucky Fried Chicken. There were 24 aspirants. 23 of them got job. The 24th one who was not selected was Jack Ma. But this man, Jack Ma, he did not lose heart. He was taking English classes. He just earned $12 a month. And now, my friends, his net worth is more than $30 billion. He's also the co-owner of alipay.com. You know, that e-bridge through which payments are made. So Jack Ma is a very big example. And what Jack Ma says, he says, today is bad, tomorrow will be worse. But if we keep on working, day after tomorrow will be sunshine. That's what Jack Ma says. So my friends, take a lesson from them. I have given you a formula on how to deal with failure. Now, once we have gone through this formula, now fail word, F-A-I-L, it can again be broken into an acronym. What does that mean? Fail means first attempt in learning. Yes, fail is the first attempt in learning. Now, if I reverse this, if I reverse the acronym fail, the spelling comes L-I-A-F. It means, look, I'm a fighter. That's the way to deal with failure. Be a fighter. Back yourself. Come up. My friends, if you like my talk, please subscribe to my channel called Sharat Ralhan. For subscribing, you have to just press the button down. Contact me on my email. The email address is also given here. Or you can contact me on my cell number. I'm always there with motivational doses. And keep on watching this channel Tonight with Sharat. Cheerios and chin-ups. Goodbye. Meet you next.